And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
I've been on my Wing Chun shit.
Yes, he has. And welcoming back my man Tony.
What's good, peoples?
Yeah, it's been a while. Ali, how you been?
Hey, what's good, man?
Oh man. How's everybody doing tonight?
Uh,
Nah,
you
we
know,
chilling.
you already know what it is, Ray. I had
Yeah.
that Blade Screen, and now I'm about to play some more Tekken.
All right, cool. For now, that's good. For now, let's get into. God damn it. All right, let's get into the subjects, and I guess we can start with. Let me see. Let me pull up the notes.
And what you want to do?
Oh, y'all heard about Bernie Sanders trying? He proposed a bill about having a 32-hour work week.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I want to know your thoughts about that.
It's about
It
damn
ain't gonna
time.
work. It ain't gonna work though.
Like,
I think it
okay,
ain't gonna work
Why you think so?
because how the economy is, man. They strive on people working and usually 6 days out the week. I think that's not gonna happen though. Because I mean, if you have that 32, wouldn't it be overtime after that?
Yeah.
It'd be
but
good if
no,
it happened. You said no?
I was asking. So even if you're paid the same pay, you don't think it'll work?
No, I don't think it'll work. Because you got greedy corporate people who wouldn't even. I think they'll probably stop that. It's too good to be true, though.
I mean, also, are you aware of the studies that a 32 hour work week, like some companies, they, what's it called? They implemented it in like some of their practices and shit, and they noticed benefits all across the board. So even with
Yeah,
that information,
yeah. I heard
you
that. They said that it gives people do be more productive and with the 32-hour work week. And they said that they gives them time with the family. They do all. I mean, they feel real productive. They get more work done. But will you really think that it will pass? That's good. That sounds good. I'm at work right now. I know I'm at work, but will it work though?
Okay. To reference what Father was talking about, in 2022, a team of university researchers and a nonprofit 4-day week global enlisted 61 companies to reduce working hours for 6 months without cutting wages. Afterwards, 71% of the 2,900 workers said they were less burnt out, and nearly half reported being more satisfied with their jobs. Meanwhile, 24 of the participating companies reported revenue growth of more than 34% over the prior 6 months. Nearly 2 dozen others saw a smaller increase. Quote, the majority of employers register an increase in their productivity over the trial. They are more energized, focused, and capable. So there you go. There you go.
yeah, my thing is about that, like, as long as the work gets done, I don't think people should really pry into what others got going on in the other affairs. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we live in a time now where AI is like being implemented in a lot of shit, and a lot of shit is getting automated, right? But that's the entire point of industrialization, or like, building a business. You're always gonna want to improve shit, and improving shit means cutting costs, means doing shit with less resources, with good quality across the board. So with that in consideration, a 32-hour work week, I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se. I just think if it's going to be implemented, it has to be implemented in a way where the work is going to get done, or have some type of pipeline where if you know that a certain project is due at a certain time and there's a 32-hour work week, so then let's divide the work up so it's all about efficiency at that point. You get what I'm saying? Like taking that type of concept into consideration while implementing it in, let's say it's being rolled out across the board in every industry, even in industries where the workload is a lot, like take medicine, for example, like being a doctor, like a 32-hour work week. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't work 32 hours. You go up to the 80s and 90s, and that's being generous. But at the same time, if it's implemented in areas where it makes sense, then I don't think it'll be an issue in that regard.
Yeah, I agree with that. But would you think that if they do that, would they have less employees or more employees?
That's one of the things that I think people oppose. It's like they feel like they got to hire more people. Uh, Hold on.
What are
It's
y'all talking about?
material life
Both
that
of
into the
material
chat.
life.
What up, B?
Hey,
We was talking about Bernie Sanders putting a bill of having a 32-hour work week. Oh, it would quote it would threaten millions of small businesses operating on a razor thin margin because they are unable to find enough workers, says Cassidy, the ranking Republican of the committee. Now they got the same workers, but only for 3/4 of the time, and they would have to hire more. That's what they said.
Boom.
But I if I'm not gonna lie to you. I was just going to say the same thing Father said, but the only thing I was going to say is because my only concern was, okay, am I going to get paid the same if I worked the 40-hour week if I was going to work a 32-hour week, and um would people would the people really want to do that? Because I understand a lot of people are a little bit more stressful, and the stats are there that people that did work for they were less burnt out and more productive. Would people do that? Like, it's one of those things where people do that because people are stubborn. And that's the problem. It's like if I compare it to the NBA, if like how it's the 82 game season, is like, and people always suggested like you push it down to like 65, but they was like they don't want to do it because then they will lose money. But since they did that without really cutting wages or cutting costs, obviously it shows that it's being productive. And you also got to get over that fact that people just thinking that people are like this new generation is lazy, and like Father said, it's not really much about laziness or work effort. It's more or less about efficiency. A lot of things get done quicker, a lot of things move quicker now. So it's like sometimes, and there's a couple jobs where I've been in there where I'm done and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, and it's not because I'm lazy, it's because I did all my job. And I'm be honest with you, I suck at looking busy. I really do. I suck at looking busy. So so I'm for it, but I want to see how things get implemented and if it's to the liking. So,
I,
material life. Since you're here, how do you feel about uh shorting it down to a 32-hour work week?
I'm all for it as long it's 32 hours, but it's still getting you're still getting paid for 40 hours. And to small businesses and all that other stuff that feels like that's against it, that's really a them problem. Um, it's not really a me problem. Me is benefiting from working less and getting paid the same amount. Um, so I can't really complain about something. And they're just gonna, you know, drop AI. Eventually, they're gonna eventually fire all of us, and AI is gonna be the only employee, and we just gonna collect, benefits off of what our AI does.
Hell
So
yeah. They
as
already
we
got kiosks at they already have kiosks at McDonald's. That's
yeah, as you know, as time slowly changes and the advancement of technology is increasing, the use of a human is going to decrease. And I don't, yeah, go ahead, put the machines to work. I could just sit at home and collect the employment of my labor person. But we all know Bernie Sanders is always coming up with some idea that's never gonna make see the day of light.
Bernie
But
Sanders. Shout out to Bernie though. Bernie always looking out for the people though.
yeah, but a lot of his yeah, he looks out for the people, but 75% of his sound good schematics don't never see the day of light.
Oh yeah, because they don't like Bernie. I've always said that. Them niggas don't like Bernie.
They all
And
conspired against him in front of our face.
Yeah,
So
no, he conspired against himself in front of our face.
against himself.
Because first of all, no one told him to drop out of fighting for presidency whatever year it was. This the was it 2020? No, it wasn't 2020. Whatever election it
26,
was.
2020 and
2016.
2016.
Yeah, no one told him to drop off. He claims that okay, someone from Obama or Obama called him and was like, blase, blase, whatever the story is. Because I don't even know if it really came from him, but he ended up dropping off so Biden can win, and then and then they told Biden he has to bring in Kamala because she's black, so he can gain the black votes. But I'm like, at this point, Bernie is old. Yes, he's probably one of the few elected um people that don't spend all of their money because he does fly commercial, not private. He flies commercial and definitely don't be on first class all the time. But 32-hour work week, still getting paid $40 for 40 hours. Who's approving that? On what party is approving that?
I said the same thing earlier. I was like, I don't see this happening. I don't
The
see this happening.
Democrat
And
that
then
that
also think about this. You go ahead.
oh in the Democratic Party that's not happening. Not one bit. They love for a slave ship to run.
Hmm.
And in the
And then,
Republican Party, so they can give you some free time.
yeah, and motherfuckers don't. A lot of people that own business and rich motherfuckers, they don't like changes like that. Especially like you said, when it comes to giving people free time, they feel they need to work more to be better in doing their
Mhm.
job. More work, more progress, more progress. Keep your ass working.
Yeah. Clearly when people was fighting for this, what was it, $12 uh minimum wage, I think they're fighting for.
In what state?
Yeah, I'm about to say depend on what state.
I
Because
thought it was like I thought it was
DC just
universal.
approved. Nah,
I
DC
thought it
just
was trying
approved what,
$16.
18,
It's
16, but it's supposed to go to 18.
supposed to go to 18.
Yeah, 18 in the next 2 years. It's supposed to go to 18.
but I thought it was like country like minimum wage throughout the United States was about to be like a certain level, all the
No,
same.
because different minimum wages in different state is different in each state.
Yeah, but
The
they
cost
wasn't
the,
worried
the
about
cost of
that.
living the cost of living is different. Like Nevada is never gonna get the same money as New Yorkers, so New Yorkers not gonna get the same thing as like Nebraska or something like that.
And Alabama is really low.
Hey,
Damn.
Yeah.
Alabama is they crack prices out there, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's
But
like nine some dollars an hour, $7.15 and $7.15 an hour.
yeah, but it wasn't in regards to like it was in regards to like the federal standards. It would be this amount all throughout. So every like some states it would probably seem nice. Oh, we bring it up to 12, but you got to remember, if you bring something up, the price is gonna go up, and that's why we in the situation we in now with these
Yeah,
McDonald prices that's sitting at that's beyond. That's not even regular McDonald prices no more.
$13
These are
for a Big
real.
Mac meal. Got the
Yeah.
man, my wife
These
just bought some hash browns. They was 2 for $3. What the?
mhm.
Them little ash hash browns 2 for $3.
Yeah,
169, 179 each for
yeah.
hash brown.
Mhm.
Why not?
But to
You got
increase the pay, they have to increase the price, and so some states did go up, but it's just like okay. The whole 32 for 40. Okay. Um, People was complaining about increasing minimum wage. Now you telling them that these people gonna work for one day off plus the weekends. So they're gonna have one extra day off plus the weekend, so a 3-day weekend or however y'all want to split it, and they get to do whatever they want to do during that week. One day off has to be throughout the week. It can't be on the because most people ain't working on the weekends for like 75% of the job. So it sounds good, but realistically, what are we gonna have to sacrifice for this sound good? Because something's gonna have to give. For people increase the minimum wage, a lot of people have to sacrifice, the cost of living. It shot up. The prices went all the way through the roof. Yeah, more people are getting paid more, but also they can't afford nothing now. So you're getting paid more and can't afford anything. So we're gonna work less and make more, we're gonna have less places to visit.
well, we'll find out. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
they know what they need to do. They just won't do it.
What they need to do for.
I mean, in regards of what you, because like in regards of the conversation that we just had, and the bill, whether the bills passed or not, they know what they need to do in terms of getting the people to a more productive state. Because right now, job market's in shambles, and people have lost savings during the past 5, 10 years alone. So like something needs to be addressed in a way that is holistic for everybody in that sense. And I'm saying that they know what to do in that sense instead of just twiddling their thumbs talking about a 32 an hour work week. Because at this point, I feel like the data is there. Like me and Ray, we would, we just cited a whole bunch of like sources earlier, but they know what the fuck to do. The information's out there.
All right. B, I'm glad you're here because then I could throw up this next video because you wanted to talk about this. So let me just set the video up. And I did I can hear the video. Oh shoot. And I mean
Good man who want y'all. I'm clapping for myself. Where's the good man that like they hiding under a rocker in a cave? They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at Equinox. They at the bank. They walking right past you, and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're gonna walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't gonna go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we not looking at you. But there's plenty good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. When have you ever heard a woman admit to not being shit? She'll say, this man ain't shit. relationship diminished and ended in turmoil.
Not a big pool of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
Tell me.
Listen, there's not a lot of good men who want y'all.
All right. B, you wanted this to be a topic, and the floor is yours. What is it about this that you want to kind of speak about?
It was. I felt like he was being honest. Like, regardless of, I understand the dating pool. Like everyone says, that the dating pool is full of piss, fart, disgustingness, and everything else. Well, it's not really that. Like, it's not that bad. The problem is people looking in the wrong locations. And everybody, like a lot of people that's looking in the wrong locations are looking for something that is impossible. So when you're looking for impossible, it feels like, dang, it's nothing but disgustingness outside. But like when you're in the space you're supposed to be at, it's like, oh, okay, it's nice. So when he tells her, like, yeah, like when you look at those girls, you can tell they living in the world of delusion, which is understandable because we all, like, I know I live in the world of delusion, and to function in the United States of America, you have to be somewhere in delusion. So for them both to be sitting there and be like, oh, a lot of people say, oh, there's no good men out there. There is. The problem is you're not looking for that good man. What you're looking for is the dude that looks good on the outside, or everybody wants to scream, oh, they want that 6-figure man, but he's super selfish. I mean, he don't even like to spend, and so you talking about you want a 6-figure man, and he don't spend nothing. Then you can get you a regular man, and the man will, spend all the time, spend his last. So it's just like I was like, I'm so glad he checked them, because it's just like, y'all can't keep screaming out here that there's no good men or there's no good women. Well, if you're only looking for BBLs and then you get bit, yeah, you gonna say, oh, there's no good woman, because all the girls that you talking to are trash. Same thing with the guys. If you looking for a good man and all the guys you talk to stay in and out of jail, yeah, you gonna say ain't no good men out here. Because that's all year round. That was it.
Anybody else got something to say about the topic?
Bro, it's spitting. I mean, shit. I ain't disagree with nothing he said. If you want a certain quality of man, then you gotta look at them in the right places. But that starts with yourself first. Who are you? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's a question I'm gonna just ask. Like, who are you? Like, what do you contribute? Well, what are your morals? What are your principles? You know what I'm saying? Like, important shit like that. I'm not trying to date a fucking psychopath. You know. So it's just being yourself, being authentic. I think that's what's lacking is authenticity. Niggas always trying to front. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for both genders. Be looking like fucking peacocks. Like, look at me, everybody. Like, bruh, it gets annoying. But at the same time, though, I think that we all collectively want the same thing. It's just like you said, niggas are in delusion. I like when you say that because it be true.
We all low key be in the world of delusion. Like, all of us. Some of us be a little bit. Some of them be at like level 3,000. Like, they deep in it. And you be like, bro, wake up. Some of us might be at like level 5 of delusion. But I think everybody, if you live in America, you gotta be some type of delusional.
You live in a society.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all. Yeah, oh, go ahead, Tony. If you have something to say.
Now, I was saying that social media made it worse. You know, I say as the age I am is like growing up, a lot of girls I knew was like they was looking in the wrong direction, thinking that was a good man, the flashy guy, the guy they thought to have money, and then when they get older or have kids, they didn't want a good guy, and it's just like, and it's repeat because the delusional comes into their mind young men, and I mean both sexes. It comes to their mind real young. It's not like a strong bond of knowledge of knowing what you really want in a relationship, because money could come and go. You know, the boobs could drop, the titties could sag. You know, the only thing matters is like if shit hits rock bottom, are you gonna be there in the relationship? But social media is like there's nobody actually real. You have a lot of women. I would say you have a lot of women just like, okay, I got all these likes, all these messages, so you know I'm a 10, and you like a six. You look like a six with long eyelashes and a lace front, and you thinking you too trying to say you too good for the average guy. But you think that you deserve more, and it's not how it really works. That's my opinion.
Exactly.
I
All
think
I
that
know is I think I had to remember one time I had it was a teacher I had to humble because she thought she was, and it wasn't even like I wasn't even trying to be all smart at it, but teacher had a mustache or some shit like that, and I was like going to a continuum bote, and I had to practice, and then she said something along the lines of that. I think the point is, some of y'all need to be humbled. I think there's a couple of even like some of y'all really need to be humbled. It's especially the ones that's just like in your 40s and for some reason still having trouble finding a man, and it's just like it's you. Especially like if you're really pretty and you can't find a man. And I know most people think, some things is men are narcissistic or sometimes, and which could be true, but most of the times I feel like it's usually it might be just you. Not just it might be just you. Sometimes you gotta admit that because I think at least when men know when they're the problem, they at least try to change the problem. I feel like with some women, if they know they are the problem, instead of trying to change it, they'll find somebody that will deal with the problem. And um, but that's just my theory. That's just what I've been seeing. It's just like instead of trying to, because some of them do try to find religion, but also I feel like they're just trying to have a safety net to fall back on in case something happens. But other than that, I feel like most people don't try to solve their problems. They'll find someone that will tolerate their problems even more, and then consider them a good person or something like that. But um,
70% of women don't believe they have a problem. So they can't fix what they don't believe they have.
Emotional damage.
and this is why a lot of them are lonely. And what's funny is what's funny because you kind of see sort of seeing it with some of these the dating shows or when Kevin Samuels was talking to some of these women,
Hmm.
and it's just like, do you hear yourself? It's just like, and half of the times they don't.
And they know the problems they have, but they just like, well, somebody will deal with it. And or the whole thing is whoever's meant for me, he'll accept all of me. But men, 95% of the time will never speak up about, either being unhappy or like exhausted, tired, strained. So they like bottle everything in, or they'll like either cheat or they'll let the person go or they'll just stay. Where the female, she'll nag and complain about, oh, you're not doing this, you need to be doing that. Even though the guy may have some issues, he'll just be like, whatever. Like he'll tolerate it. And so, and if it's a good guy, because the bad guy, he gonna tell you about yourself. But the good guys, they gonna tolerate a lot. Like you could be walking around, like you could be super underdressed, and because they don't want to argue with you about the fact that you're the way presenting yourself to the world is embarrassing to them, they would rather just let you be.
Okay. Any last words on before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah,
Stop
I
under
had
the
to stop.
audacity.
I had to stop real quick. Um, so work with me. It's a story, right? So Jameson, no, I got two TikTok accounts. I got my DJ account, and I made work with me. It gonna sound gay. I made an account that that my name is I eat hot dogs whole, right? And I got pictures of hot dogs on my page, right? So when you go into a TikTok page, when they see your name, they're like, "Welcome, I eat hot dogs whole," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got you." But it seems like women would interact with that more of you tricking them or belittling them even more than you being a nice guy. And then me and Jameson talked about like nice guys mostly finish last, like for real. It's just like you would never get no reaction being nice, but being a dick, you get all the play in the world being a dick.
Well, to the girl that likes that.
Yeah, and it's a lot, but it's a lot of girls that like that.
Well, depending on where you at, because you could probably get, depending on what location, you could put two people in the same location, right? Dep- let's say you put both of them in a location of nothing but, let's say, females who got standards, who not looking for somebody to be in and out of jail. The bad boy would not get zero attention because these girls know for a fact they can't take him anywhere. They can't bring him home. They can't introduce him to the family. He got tattoos. He got this. Their parents is strict. Their parents is that. Um, he don't fit in. He wouldn't get no play. Then you can take those two guys and put them in a location where, not saying like the hood, or you can put them in a location that's full of poverty.
Yeah,
Um, and it don't have to be black poverty or what. It's just poverty because white people be up in the poverties.
yeah,
Um,
they do. Yeah, they do.
and
Oh, they do.
that the bad guy or the one who looks like he can get out the mud or whatever, whatever. He probably gonna get more play than the dude that's like put together, educated. He might
Yeah,
get a few. The educated guy might get like a random 1 2 1 2. Just it be random.
yeah.
But the guy who ain't got nothing going on for his life, he definitely gonna get about 70 out of them, out of the
Oh
plate.
yes, yeah,
But it just
yeah. I
depends on
agree
the
with that.
area. Cause
It depends on every.
if you
Mm,
put a good guy in a suburban area with some people with some standing, the black guy might get a few plays. He might. I'm not saying that. Oh, it's not possible. He ain't nobody gonna pay him attention. Somebody gonna pay him attention. It's because they just want to test the waters.
yeah.
But if like now, a lot of people just you can see all the BBL girls. But then when you ask these guys what type of girl they want, ain't none of
Yeah,
them
we don't like.
screaming BBL girls.
Yeah, we don't want BBLs. No, no, we want BBLs.
But
But
they
I
running
also
around with
realize a lot of
BBL.
females. I realize is you see that a lot of women would like to choose the the guy with with the attitude or the problems, because either they want that spice or they want that adventure of that type of relationship compared to a good guy.
It's a poverty
Not till,
mindset.
and not till you get older. You have a so when I got the military, when I was in the Navy with Jameson, when I came back to DC, it was like all the girls I ever wanted it or I had a crush on. There's a few of them never spoke to me or did anything because they thought I was the type of corny because I read books and shit. But then when they had like two or three kids, then they wanted to holler, and it was just like, and it's not. I don't know. It's just weird how that thing's getting. You see how you get older, and you see how like dudes could just say, "Hey, you a bitch." I'm not no bitch. You should call me. You should call me. And it be like that. You could
Detroit.
disrespect them. You could disrespect them in 20,000 ways, and you definitely getting your hot dog. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You eat
But
hot
a
dog
good
first.
guy. But then if you give a girl, you see, realize that they did an interview also with the same people from the video. If you give a girl flowers, girls would think that's strange. Girls we think that is weird. Women would think that like, why he bringing me flowers? That's retarded.
I think it's a poverty mindset. To be honest,
Hmm.
if the thing is, you assume the hustler or he has a grind or some, I don't know, and then you assume the guy who's going somewhere, he just doesn't, you wouldn't be able to fit into his level, his aesthetics. Like you don't see it, like you don't think you can blend in. So it's easier for you to feel like, okay, we're equal there with somebody who has, you know, in that it's to me it really is a poverty mindset. It's just you've been conditioned. People get conditioned for so long and don't even realize we're conditioned and it's been passed on. And so when you see a guy who has standards or who could be you like, oh, he's a nerd, he's a geek. But then when you get older, you like, yo, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like you've seen the guys that you passed on living this good lavish lifestyle. You like, I need a guy who's like, who's gonna love me. You don't want to be, fighting in the trenches no more. All of a sudden the guy who's a nerd, who's a geek, you like, okay. He seems like, he seems comfortable, like he not going nowhere. So now you feel secure because he ain't gonna never cheat in your head. But
That's
reality is anybody capable of cheating.
yeah, that's what they said about Norway.
Mhm.
Yeah, as they said about Jameson.
I never cheated though. I never cheated. But there was this one girl. I know. I'm pretty sure I told this story before that it was one of my sister's friends, and like my sister didn't want me flirting with her, so I said, "All right," and I just started like just saying what all the insults I could say. I told her she had a lisp like Mike Tyson. She had to like toast like Vienna sausages and all that other stuff. Like I think she was out of Alaskan or Samoan or something like that. I kept calling her Troy Polamalu and all that other stuff. So, and like you would think like she wouldn't like me, but the more I did it, I think the more it turned her on to the point to where
Facts. Facts.
like we was like I was watching football and I think it was the Ravens versus Pittsburgh and she's a Steelers fan. And then next thing you know, she was laid up on the couch with me. You know, like my little
I know
sister.
you were confused as fuck.
I really was, and my little sister like get mad at me because it's just like she laid up. And I'm like, I'm the victim here. I don't know, but it's
Hey,
just
that's
like,
funny as shit.
but it's like I don't know. Back in my mind, it's like I don't know why this works because I'm just making fun of her the whole fucking time. It's just like,
It's just funny how you said she just laid up on me.
yeah, she just laid up on me. It's just like
Ray said he a victim.
I am a victim.
Like she came over here. I'm
She came to
chilling.
me.
Who am
No,
I?
my sister said the same thing. It's bullshit. What do you mean? When she came to me, I didn't
She
come to
came to
her.
me. I did nothing.
I did nothing of the sort.
I called her Troy Polamalu. The fuck?
Yeah. I said, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was one time she knocked on the door and it was her, and I slammed the door in the face. It's like stuff like that don't supposed to get you play, but there she goes, just lying. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Get it together, ladies. Get it together.
Honestly, this is why it's like I start clowning most people. I don't know. I feel like I get more reaction out of them than "Hey, beautiful" or "What's going on, sweetheart" or "How you doing, love." It's just like you got a big ass head, and just and then it's just that works. I don't know why, but it does. But on to our next topic. We already talked about Cardi B and how all of a sudden she's losing female fan base because of this right.
Reason, right? Like
Me
it's like
too.
if you're gonna be the type of bitch that like a nigga, you want a nigga to take care of you and everything, but it's like, all right, you have to like okay, but you don't work, you don't contribute to the house. So I just feel like it's like, and like sometimes people be like, oh, so this is like really controversial, right?
Go ahead.
I feel like it's very controversial when like be like, oh, I don't go 50-50, but it's like, all right. So if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? But only your man is the one that paying all the bills. How you ever gonna save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Because he's never gonna be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a work together. But I just be feeling like sometimes people like the internet really be having people fucked up from like real reality type shit. So it's like all right. So your mom and dad used to work every single day, right? So your mom and dad used to work every single day, so your mom could save her money and what buy purses, and your dad just pay the bills. That's not how it works. Because either your mom was in the house cooking and cleaning every day, your dad was working, or they was both working to pay both the bills. Like y'all be acting like y'all don't know what the fuck that is like no more. Like come on.
And your mom money was your dad money, and your dad money was your mom money.
Like it was like
That
that.
shit
It
was
was
all
it,
together.
like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not a feminist anymore because it's like sometimes it's like y'all bitches don't be living in the real world.
Right.
Y'all not living there.
Y'all be talking about my money is my money and his money is my money. Shit.
I mean, my money's my money, his money's my money. But like, my money's my money. Like, my money's my money, and his money is his money. But it's like, but like it's like we both spend money on each other and everything. And it's like if we want to go and everything, it's like all right, like if we're gonna buy a house, like let's go half and half. And it's like if we're gonna
But
buy,
it's not a one-way street.
it's not a one-way street. Like it's like if we're gonna buy like a like crazy expensive furniture, it's like all right, you buy the couch and I buy the dining room set. Like it's a both thing. Like
Right.
it's a both thing. Because then when you leave, like bitch, you really leave for nothing. Because you was like a bitch, hey, but he has to pay all the bills. Well, you're divorced and you don't got no house, no nothing. You don't got shit. You got shit. You don't even got a couch, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even got that's my thought. I'm really old school. I'm old school.
I'm old school too.
Any thoughts about that? What she said?
God bless her soul. Cardi B, you know what? Like a lot of people like to give Cardi B shit, but she's a very well spoken and like articulate woman. Like that's the one thing I fucking respect about her. Even if I disagree with some of the shit that she be saying, at least it's articulate. You know what I'm saying? So shout out, like, bro, I love hearing Cardi B talk. Like when she be on her political shit, it's the most interesting shit in the world. Let me tell you. I could listen to her talk for fucking hours, but what she said though is real. Like bro, honestly, she kind of said what Materialized been saying the entire time. These bitches be in delusion.
Welcome
Shit.
to the world of delusion.
What I was saying, what Cardi just said, two drops the thing.
No, because she said
Well,
that they don't be living in reality. That's what I was making a reference to.
yeah, that is true. Ain't nobody living real. But what Cardi is saying is that Her and Offset, I don't even know. I don't even know they dynamic, but we can kind of know that Offset probably don't get as paid as much as Cardi B does. So they go 50-50, which um I don't think anyone was thinking Cardi B wasn't a 50-50 girl.
Yeah.
Nothing about Cardi B screamed that she was uh you know, she went 100%, like Offset did 100%. Nothing about their dynamic screamed that. She probably should put him on 100%. He might cheat less because he ain't got enough money to be spending on other randoms. But Cardi, most of the houses was when she got with Offset, he was cheating on her. They ended up getting pregnant. She got married to him. It seems like Cardi's chasing more Offset than Offset's chasing Cardi. So it would make sense that they go 50-50 because he can get away with that with her. Because she's more in love with him than it seems like he's in love with her. And so I understand her saying, okay, when they leave or separate, or whatever, she feels like she like it's not just off from him. She gonna leave with something too. And if you're saving money and stuff like that to like build your portfolio, build your wealth, and all that other stuff, that's understandable. But Cardi, almost for a bunch of years, you've been working harder than your counterpart. Like we've seen Offset do the whole gaming experience. So her coming on this show and like, outing the fact that they go 50-50, it didn't look good on it didn't look good on Offset behalf. Because it just proved to people more that Cardi B is the breadwinner of that family. And because Offset can't, do his half.
Yo.
So she's sacrificing. And then she wants to pretend like, oh, it's I don't want to be like we're not gonna live in the world delusion, girl. The way Offset be keeping up these hoes, putting them in lavish lifestyles, paying their rent, taking them on flights. So Cardi, you tell me he can't go above and beyond? Is he going above and beyond from these side chicks? So she could have kept that in the vote, especially if you didn't want to embarrass Offset. Cause we see what he doing for others. It clear you said he at home not doing enough for you and your babies. That was it.
Tony, you got anything to say?
Nah, she said it all. No rebuttal.
Okay, I do.
Oh, that could be a rebuttal. Cause you know, let's be honest.
Oh no, you said everything I wanted to say.
Well, now we come to the realization that 95% of celebrities is going 50-50 with their spouses.
Yeah, but
For
then
some,
it's like they put out what they actually don't do because what's popular on social media, and it's not like that. Like everybody don't have chauffeurs driving around. Everybody don't buy a whole rack of stuff. There are people that have their people shop at Sam's and BJ's. There's people that driving their own car. There's people that's doing stuff. It's just they don't tell people about it. They actually people actually do save money. They don't do what they actually say in their raps or what social media say, because it's different between rich media and actual bank account money.
Yeah, but it's crazy because these these celebrities you expect to be living this life of luxury that they portray to be like, then you see these regular influencers really living the life that these celebrities had us believing they was living.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they all coming out saying they 50-50 with their spouses, with all these girls that social media influencers, the ones that sit around and all they do is take pictures on Instagram and get flown out with no real job.
No real
E-
job. No
Even
real
some
job.
even some regular girls that's like no social media influencers are like living these life of luxury with
Mm.
non-celebrity men, and I'm just like, so you done told the rest of the world to go live this good life to find out you at home being different. Like you
Yeah.
should be honest. You should be singing some you talking about you don't cook, you don't clean. Offset had to come on. He was like, she cooks and she cleans. But you should be telling people the honest truth. I cook, I clean, I work.
Yeah. That's the same thing with a lot of rappers. A lot of people don't be trapping. A lot of people don't be shooting. A lot of people don't be doing drugs. I don't know how old you are, but you remember MTV Cribs, and then
Hmm.
years later they showed that motherfuckers wasn't living in them house. That stuff was set up. They
Yeah,
rented a house. They rented them houses or borrowed other people's houses for the show. Only person that was actually real was Redman when he showed them their apartment and the dirty ass fucking pots with the hot dogs in it.
yeah. I remember that. And he was like, they asked him if they wanted him if if he wanted them to rent a home for them so they can show it. I was just
Hmm.
like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, because
All y'all celebrities.
the house that Bow Wow was doing wasn't his actual house. It was a house that he borrowed. But that's the front of it. It's like make you think like they living like this, and you can real and we also realize is when they had that strike that strike they had a couple of months ago, and people was losing their houses. They was struggling
Yeah.
during
And
that during the SAG protests.
after. Hmm.
So it's just like it's not. It was like, especially people, the money they was getting from TV shows, or they wasn't getting none at all, especially from Netflix. So when it got sold to another network, they wasn't getting no money at all.
Because I think we talked about this last week. They have
Hmm.
bad they have bad spending habits.
Yes.
I think Father said that last week. They have, it's not that they wasn't seeing a lot of money. They just have bad spending habits. They you talking about you coming in off of doing one movie for like let's say a weekend and you make, let's say they pay you $1 million. Out of the million, you only see $500,000 of it.
Yeah.
And you tell me you couldn't figure out how to make $500,000 last your whole year, but you want to live like the Joneses?
Well, they say they pay their managers. They
Yeah.
they they pay their bills. They pay their makeup people. They pay for their
Mhm.
clothes and so on so on.
Yeah, that's what I
But
said.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had a
But like you
million.
said, it's a spending habit for real. It's actually a spending habit, man. Like,
And they didn't have
I,
nothing to themselves. Like Taraji, literally, what during the pandemic, she finally came out with a shampoo and conditioner line. Like, how
mhm.
come you just not starting a business and you done been in the industry? How long you been in? You You have barely any brand deals. I know y'all done seen so many little social media influencers with the different like the Fashion Nova line. You done seen
Yeah,
people with this. Like you done seen people have the little McDonald deals, the Sprite deals, the Pepsi deals. Like you tell me you didn't have figured none of this out during your 20-year career.
I say sometimes it takes you a long time to learn. The music and movies, you don't make as much money like you used to back in the days. Especially with music, you just don't make that much money back in the days. And it just like, you know, from social media, you could go online and see your movie, and you won't even get the credit of it. It's it's crazy,
Mm.
just crazy.
What's this video, Ray?
That's the Cardi B jump.
No, I didn't see this. Let me see it, Ray.
Cursing me out. Like, it's like, oh, you get cheated and you go 50-50 in your home. Blah, blah, blah. All right, like, I want to make this very clear. Me and Offset, we don't go 50-50. We bought a house and we went half and half on our Atlanta home. We got two properties that we bought together, two investment properties, and I bought my home in Jersey myself, and he bought a condo in Miami himself. So like we're part of the 1%, and we're very fortunate that we're very successful and everything. However, there was a point in life that I wasn't successful. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with regular parents.
Oh man, so